All right, we will continue to talk about the 4 points here on the celestial sphere. I was talking about summer solstice, so I'm going to repeat again. Remember, this is the annual path of the sun. We call ecliptic, right? So when the sun reaches the highest point, we call this point as summer solstice, which happens around June 21st. And this summer solstice actually has the longest day. All right, so after this day, the day actually is getting shorter and shorter. So this has the longest daytime. Okay. Now, when the sun is crossing the celestial equator, we see here they intersect. So the ecliptic and equator intersect each other, and we call this point as autumnal equinox. Autumnal means fall, okay, because it happens around September 21st. So equinox means equal daytime and nighttime. So this happens, as I said, around September 21st. And then if you continue to move along the path of the sun, and you will see moving to the south, and then you will reach winter solstice. Winter solstice is when the Earth's North Pole is oriented furthest from the sun. It happens around December 21st, which has the shortest day. Okay, all right. And then after that, the sun continues to move now towards the north direction. It's going across celestial equator. So you see again, the ecliptic and equator, they intersect with each other at this point, which is called vernal equinox. Vernal equinox, in fact, happens around March 21st. So vernal means spring. Okay, equinox again means equal amount of daytime and nighttime. Okay, so this is the season actually we experience. They are linked to the motion of the sun along the celestial sphere. And this slide, in fact, talks about explaining, because the tilt of the Earth's axis, that's why we have different seasons on Earth. And the combination of day length and sunlight angle gives seasons. For instance, we know that during the winter time here, okay, the sunlight actually is more, the sun is lower in the sky. So the sun is going to be, if you look at the same amount of the same amount of light from the sunlight is going to be more spread out. That means it's going to shine on a larger ground area covered. On the other hand, during the summertime, the sun is much higher in the sky, so the sun is going to be more directly shining on the surface. So if you have the same amount of light from the sun, it's going to cover smaller ground area. So that's why for each small area here, it's going to have more sunshine, which is going to have, as a result, you're going to experience higher temperature. And you can see the picture here, which shows you again during different season of the year, you're going to see different kinds of constellations. In September, the sun is up here. So when the sun is up, actually you can't see any of the constellations, any of the stars here because the sun is too bright. But the only constellations you can see is over here, which is the night sky. But in March, sun actually is over here, then you won't be able to see the constellations, whatever, on this side. Instead, you can see all the constellations here during the night sky. Okay. And there are 12 constellations. They are located along the path of the sun's annual path, and we call them zodiac constellations. The first writing assignment I'm going to ask you to do is about the constellation. Talk about yourself and using your birthday to find out your zodiac constellation, and you talk about your particular zodiac constellation. Please find out the requirements for the first writing assignment I put online as well. The last type of motion is called precession, okay, which is the rotation of Earth's axis itself. So if you look at here, when the Earth, if you look at the top, okay, the top, when you spin the top, when you play the top has two kinds of motions. One is a spinning relative to its own axis. On the other hand, the axis itself is also doing a circular motion. And this is a very slow motion, okay? You can see that the North Pole, we now know that, from the constellation video, we learned that the current pole star or North Star is called the Polaris. However, in AD 14,000, the North Star actually is not Polaris, instead is Vega, okay, due to the precession motion of the Earth, okay? But this happens very, very slowly, okay? So that's why we don't really actually can feel a lot of difference during the life cycle of a human life. So as you can see here, okay, the in 13,000 years, okay, July and August will still be summer, but Orion will be a summer constellation. Okay. Again, the tropical year and sidereal year, you don't have to worry about it, but the most important concept here I want you to know is that because of the precession of the Earth, okay, the constellations now we can see now during that particular season, we won't be able to see some years down there,